what's up, y'all? This is Skater D.
Hey, I'm John Charles Meyer, producer of Dave Made a Maze.
Hey, what's up? This is Scott Ladotti, author of Play the Devil, and you are listening to Luch Dog.
Luch Dog.
Luch Dog.
This is Andy Cruz from SiriusXM 415, and you're listening to Luch Dog in the morning.
The #1 sports show on the planet. Yeah, boy.
Welcome back, folks. It is Luch Dog in the morning, and it's Sunday, January 7th. Giddy up! Welcome to the show, my wonderful friends. How are we feeling on a fantastic Friday taping of the Sunday Sports Show on Sports 106.1 FM? Richmond, what's up, baby? I got Belly Matt LaBelle producing in studio. How are you, sir?
Doing very well, Luch. How are you doing today?
I'm great. We've got a ghost in here, apparently, throwing books at Belly as things get started. How is Maddie Potts from the Santa Monica newsroom?
Greetings and salutations. Does my voice sound deeper now that I'm smoking again?
I don't know, man. You sound real good, though.
Sounds fantastic.
I feel like I have a belly tone to my voice now that I'm
Welcome to
smoking
the
again.
deep voice, sexy voice world.
There can't be two bellies. There is only one. I've never heard such a smooth, easy, silky delivery.
Much better than it was during your One Wheel podcast.
Oh, boy. He was
recently.
struggling, man. I almost kicked him out of the studio. He shows up, and he's like, hey, I'm ready to go. Like, oh, no. How are you going to do this? But he did a great job.
Then he
And
was holding like 3 things at once while trying to hold the mic, and he was like, wait, you know what?
can you maybe help me out? I'll get sick if I had to. That's exactly what happened. He was like, all right, I'll go home. And I was like, okay. Actually, can you stay? I need you.
Before you go home, can you stay?
Yeah. Get me sick. It's fine. Welcome to the show. It is, of course, our Friday taping. If you are listening on the live stream, thank you for listening again. That's TTR Studios on YouTube. And calls and texts are always welcome. 571-354-7338. We love your participation. It drives the show. And quite frankly, let's start there. I'm upset
Driving the show.
with our listeners. And I'm giving a grade, and your grade is F.
I love you, listeners.
No,
don't ever
it's
let-
time. I never do this. I usually sit there and coddle you. I baby you, just like I baby these two. Every time we end the show, I say what?
Bye, we love you.
No, with you two. I say,
No.
great show.
Great show. I think it's our best show ever.
That-
And
right.
I'm like, you literally said that 3 days ago.
And they're craving me to be real with them and say, let us know when a show sucks. I was pissed off after last show.
Yeah, right. Then I was actually a little butthurt. I'm like, because then when you say you weren't happy, then I'm like, wow, he must really not be happy
Well, I
because he
guess
loves
that's true.
friggin' everything. It's so annoying.
He was raging Cajun after the show.
Totes was, and then he listens to the show and he's like, "No, I guess I was wrong. It was pretty good."
It's just funny because we take this stuff seriously, and even though we have a blast doing it, but I am not going to do the same thing with the listeners. I'm not going to coddle you anymore, and quite frankly, I'm a little bit upset.
The party's over.
Party's over. No, if we were giving a participation grade, your grade would be an F. If this was a high school Spanish class where you're graded on the index cards with every time you raise your hand and try to speak Spanish, you're getting an F. Okay, we've been doing this for
Why are you saying that?
5 years, Potts.
I was never good at Spanish, so meh.
Que
I'll
pasa?
take
But can
it.
I just say, is it me or do we have people like texting in like every show, right? So
Yeah.
is the crowd participation
One or two
unsatisfactory?
diehards. But my problem is not the texters. They're great. Where are the
Okay.
reviews? Where are the comments? Where are the
Reels.
likes? Like, guys, we've been doing this for 5 years. On iTunes, there is one review, and it's Maddie Potts.
Yep.
That is poor. That is a piss poor job. If you want this to get better and not be, I mean, it's this good out of our living room for free.
I don't even think I'm subscribed on
Come
iTunes.
on, man. Help me out. I'm trying to
Suck.
get this into bigger markets. Like, you got to help a brother out. So right now, your
Yeah,
grade
we-
is an F.
Mm-hmm.
I need more
Agreed.
participation on iTunes. I need you liking, and I need you following our stuff on social media, chiming in. We need to do a better job of that. We should start doing polls. We
Put it
should
on the
give you
poll.
more.
Should we start doing polls?
We should start doing polls. Is that something you could do from over there?
Polls where?
I think I could figure it
So
out.
in the middle of the show, Belly will be, if we just say, that's a good question, put it on the poll, and then people will go to our Twitter account, and they can answer themselves. I want to know what the audience thinks.
So you want me
Is
to
it
put the
is
poll on
doggy
Twitter?
style
Yeah,
the
you
best
definitely do that.
the best position for women? Is that the most preferred position? We said that on last show. We could have put that on the poll and then updated the poll the next week.
Sounds good.
So we'll put more on social media, but I need you guys, and half of this is kidding, yelling at you. You know I appreciate you and love you, but really, the participation has been poor. It's been awful.
So, did you really just yell and then completely backpedal and be like, "No, but I'm not really"?
Actually,
Like,
if you
you're gonna
listen
do
to
it, do it, Luch.
if you listen to the whole thing, what I did was I gave a feedback sandwich, and this is where I hit you with one thing, and then I kind of soften it in the middle, and then I end it with. But seriously though, I need you to participate more.
No, actually, it started with like, I love you guys. Here's the hits.
right.
We love you guys.
That's also a feedback sandwich.
Here's a
Right.
pillow to land on.
I mean, have you ever heard that? That's actually a thing. If I say, hey, listen, like Belly, this has been
yeah.
really great. I would really love it if we could do this less, like 30 seconds lesser. But I do love how we do this.
Yeah, no, you gotta ease them in, hit them hard,
Subliminally.
then throw the pillow under them right before they hit the ground.
So Potts,
I like it.
yeah. Did you see what happened we debuted the One Wheel podcast on
Right.
on Tuesday?
Yep.
Did you guys see what happened with the company?
You did. We did get shared a little info. Looked
Well,
like they
can
were
I
doing
just-
something.
I mean, can I just say, like, I had said this already, that I said it a couple shows ago, that I thought it was, like, really in bad form, that, like, the company hasn't said anything, hasn't even reached out to you, or hasn't just had any kind of, like, involvement in their own activity, in their
What
own
you
sport.
actually said was that it was kind of pathetic that the group
Pathetic.
and the riders had to crowdsource the number
Right.
one rider who won the tournament a
Right.
new board. Why didn't they step in and do it themselves? Which is absolutely true. I put that clip of us talking out as a trailer because I needed to set up the new One Wheel podcast. And by the way, it's called Voice of One Wheel. It's on
And
iTunes. It's on our website at
They
litmradio.com.
could serve you with a cease and desist because you use the label One Wheel.
Not
on
true.
there. Yeah.
No, they can't. You can't say.
why not?
If One Wheel's trademarked,
Oh, that's
If
fine.
they have it.
Feel free. I'll change it. That's
Yeah.
fine. I have no problem. I'm not married
maybe
to
they'll
it.
call it Wheel Talk.
Yeah. So, you have no idea. This is exactly where I'm going. Oh my God, dude, this is so funny. So we put this
So do you
podcast out.
Can we just start from the beginning for people, because I assume we kind of have new listeners every week. You have a One Wheel podcast. What's the One Wheel?
The One
again?
Wheel is a one-wheeled electric skateboard that's like a Segway. It's got a go-kart wheel in the middle of it. You can go off-road. Thank you, Potts. It's a very good call. You can go off-road with it. It's like snowboarding with a jetpack. It's freaking amazing. But it's a little bit expensive, so not a lot of people are like, yeah, I'll go grab one. Yeah, I'll go grab. I mean, you kind of have to really want it or save up for it.
You can't get it
It's
on
a leisure
in Dick's
activity.
Right,
Sporting
right.
Goods. You can't get it in sporting goods stores around the
There
country. You
are a
have to
few
order 'em.
vendors, actually. There are
Really?
some places that are like smaller owned, like outdoorsy places that buy a bunch of them and then you can buy them there,
Oh, that's cool.
which is kind of neat, like an
They
REI.
probably are
But
marked up.
man,
So-
no, they don't, because they're So
'Cause
anyway,
they can get a wholesale. They'll get them wholesale.
They'll get 'em wholesale,
But that's a problem if you don't get that impulse buy that a lot of people would do. You're probably missing out on a nice chunk of sales for sure.
Well, what happens is you're ordering for the company, and when they were getting started, it took 4 weeks to get your board. So you spend all this money, you get this, and you're waiting for 4
Jeez.
weeks. So what
Yeah.
happens is everybody, I did the same thing. You're sitting there every morning, and you're on YouTube
Right.
just watching every single One Wheel video you can. Because they're they're unbelievable. If you snowboard, if you skateboard, if you are a surfer, like any board sport, you will love this thing. But,
It's fun.
I mean, it's neat.
Can I just
Belly
say
tried it.
how much of an a-hole I'm gonna feel like when after all the trash I've been talking, when I finally do get to ride it and I love
You
it.
know
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna love
You're
it, and
probably
it's
gonna
the
love it.
same thing with it's the same thing with cryptocurrencies. You hate on it because you don't understand them, and then as soon as you start digging in a little bit, you're like, wait a minute, this is kind of interesting.
Every time I think I'm out.
Oh, Belly was against
Pulls me
cryptocurrencies
back in.
1 week ago. Remember when he was sitting here yelling at us? Guess what, folks?
Right.
What'd you just buy? He just bought in.
Dude, wait, what? Wait, whoa.
We'll do that later.
Whoa.
Let's
Can
keep.
we-
We're
can
gonna
we
do
Right,
that.
add the dollar
We'll
sign,
do that.
please?
We'll do that.
We'll get
So
there,
we'll
but
do
we're on
that
the
in
One
maybe
Wheel.
segment 2. However, I know this is why we're on a sports station. We're talking about something that's not necessarily hugely sports, like national sports. This is a sport to me, and it's going to be a bigger one. It's
It's going to definitely get, yeah.
Oh,
it's gonna
absolutely.
grow.
I'm going to be petitioning to get it onto the X Games. And so
Yeah.
what happened was the company. Anyway, I put out this podcast. Belly produced it. It was awesome. We promoted it for 3 weeks leading up to it. We got the #1 rider to come and join us. Bodie Harrison was awesome.
And
He was super
if you do
cool.
want to watch it, you can check it out on YouTube at TTR Studios.
Yeah, it's still up, and you can see the One Wheel podcast as well. You can listen to it. It's all at litmradio.com. So it's really funny because once we did that, I mean, all the comments started coming in. This was really awesome. Makes it feel like a real sport. Like, makes me want to see it on, like, the X Games. Can't wait for next week. This needs to be longer. Within 1 day. 1 day later, I'm falling asleep. It was the next day. I'm, like, riding a high of this was so awesome.
His
I'm
whole
so glad.
Facebook feed is only news about One Wheel.
And us, and how, like, they loved that we covered it and giving us ideas, and I was just so stoked that everybody was into it and supporting it. Some dude, one of the riders in the group, texts me, "Did you see this?" Bleep. And I'm like, what? It's a link, and the company One Wheel from their Facebook posted a "Don't miss it tomorrow, the world premiere Wheel Talk."
But wait, so
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Tune in tomorrow for the premiere of All Talk One Wheel.
And that tomorrow was Thursday.
Yeah.
So
I put the
it
show
is
out on
come and gone.
Tuesday. On Wednesday, they saw the responses and then said, Wheel Talk's coming out tomorrow. Put it out, and it's 6 minutes long. Oh, by the way, when they put that promo out, it just got crushed. People putting out GIFs of, like, why does this matter? Hey, you're a little too late to the party.
Whoa. I think it's called a GIF, not a GIF.
You're right. No, you're right.
Well,
It's a
listen,
GIF for graphic. It's
The
G
guy
is
who
for graphic.
created it calls
Thank
it GIF, but I think it's because it's a troll game. I think it's GIF.
Either way, the GIF or the GIF was completely, like, people were just trolling them. And so then
Yeah,
I'm
they
watching
were.
this. They were. You guys saw it, right?
Yeah. So can I just say, when you sent me the link, you're like, "Oh my God, guys, check this out." I thought One Wheel was promoting your podcast.
should have
It
been.
took me like 10 minutes to realize that they were ripping you off 100%.
There was no
And I was
sound.
just like, and first I was like, "Oh my God, that's so great. They finally got behind it." And then I realized they were ripping you off. And what one of the comments said was literally what I was thinking. They're like, "Oh, look, One Wheel finally decided to get involved in their own business, in their own consumers." And it's just, yeah.
And that's
like,
been a
people
big complaint from the community, is that they just sit there on their perch and they don't do
They
anything.
do.
They take credit for
Zero
all the things that
involvement.
we do, and then they just take the credit. It's like, no. I don't think so.
It's
Same
so
with Float Life.
It's so crazy.
No, Float Life? No, not
Float
at all.
Fest?
Float Fest was awesome.
Float Fest was
Are they?
Float Life Fest was, but didn't
They
One Wheel
didn't put
start
it on.
that?
No, it was
Yeah.
put in by the community.
By the
Exactly.
community,
And then
yeah.
they went on Instagram and they were like, check out how great our community is. They even crowdsourced this board for our rider. It's like, you should be doing that. You
Yeah.
should be doing that. What
So-
is wrong with you guys?
They don't even sponsor their own competition.
Right. It's
How
unbelievable.
crazy.
So I'm going to sponsor this year's Float Life Fest. TTR Studios will be that's what I'm going to do. I'm excited. I'm going to put, and if they want to put their money where their mouth is, then they can outbid me,
Do
and
you
they can
wanna
be the
put your
sponsors.
money where the mouth
Yeah,
is?
I
How
don't
much
mind.
money do you think is going to be a sponsorship for? A
Well,
whole
if nobody's
event like
asking to sponsor it, then I'll set the bar, and if they want to jump in and really show that they give a crap,
that? But to sponsor, you must pay money.
I will give them money.
Oh,
I will happily do that. Happily
I
do
want to
that.
be like Pitch Perfect, how they have those two that do the Aka podcast, and then like we'll be that with One Wheel. We'll just follow around like Bodie Harrison and like with a camera. Be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, hey," and yeah, like I'll totally go backstage and interview everyone. And
So-
where is this, in North
See,
Carolina?
what got me
yeah,
about,
it is in
see
North
what got me
Carolina.
about their teaser was it was just like a short 6-second, like 10-second clip,
Right?
no sound.
Nope. It was just
Zero
almost like a
sound.
boomerang of just like two dudes watching a film, and then the words "Wheel Talk" come over it, and then they give like a thumbs up. And so it looked very rushed to me because they didn't even say when it was going to come out, how to find it, how to watch it. And literally people are asking, so what's the plan? What's the deal? How do we find it? What is this about? This is a little too late. After Adam Carluccio puts out this podcast, you guys all of a sudden do this. Literally, people were calling him out. Well, guess what got deleted? All of that. They
What?
definitely deleted
No.
all. Oh, yeah.
They
They
deleted
all of those
oh,
gifts.
Hell no.
All of those gifts
Oh,
are gone.
hell no.
They're all
Oh,
gone.
are you kidding?
All of the gifts are gone.
They delete, dude. That's like a big
Oh.
social media like.
They
etiquette
left-
no-no.
Well, they left the one about me that said my name and said, "Oh, but the multiple gifts, they killed all those. All of those that were like, "What's the
Really?
deal? Who cares? Why am I care about this?" Little too late.
Silencing your own freaking community.
That's a big
Faux pas. Agreed. So, moving down the rabbit hole, I mean, I'm only bringing this up because it's a really interesting thing that's happening to us that's it is related around sports. It's just it's a board sport that's coming out that you're about to start hearing about. And so you can remember you heard it right here on Luch Dog in the morning. The one wheel is coming, but ladies and gentlemen, this is really interesting. I on the first show had the top rider, right? I figured that would be a cool way to get people to want to listen. And he was awesome. Number 2, on the second show of any series always sucks. Always.
Oh my God, they did delete all of it.
I told
can't
you.
Believe it.
So the second show of any series, any TV show, usually is one of the lower episodes in the entire series because you hit them with a bang in the first one. People are expecting that bang in the second one, but now you have to kind of develop the characters. The second one's really kind of where the story starts. I didn't want that. So I got the guy who represents and organizes the Float Life Fest, the yearly tournament. He's going to join me on the second show. And not only that, but like 4 weeks ago, he agreed to announce the show dates. I mean, the tournament dates on our show. I know that was a little long-winded. Basically, I got him to say, yeah, we'll announce the 2018 Float Life Fest dates on your show. I said, that's awesome. Because people are chomping at the bits. When is it? When is it? When is it? And so yesterday I'm on a feed. And one of them, somebody just randomly posts, hey, when's Float Life Fest? And I'm like, damn it, I hope don't let the cat out of the bag. I almost wrote, tune into my show on Tuesday and we'll drop it.
You should have.
Well, I didn't because the guy who's coming on literally agreed. Like somebody was like, oh, it's the same weekend as last year. And the guy goes, yep, it's exactly right. It's the same weekend as last year. And I just go, what are we doing? No. Don't drop it.
So who's this guy? Works for One Wheel?
No, I think he works for like the park system. But the reason I'm telling you this is I'm not mad about it. It's fine. We'll still talk the whole show on Tuesday about the Float Life Fest. I can't wait. But
I would still say it's the big announcement.
I am going to, but I asked him. I said, dude, I thought we talked about not putting out the dates yet. And he goes, yeah, man, but I realized it's gonna come out on Wheel Talk later today. They asked me about it. We did an interview about it, but it was like 3 weeks ago. I totally thought it was going to already come out. My bad. And I'm like, no worries at all. But so think about this. That coincides with right when I started putting the podcast out. Then they started, apparently, I mean, I could be wrong.
It does coincide, like right as you announced that you were going to do the One Wheel podcast, it was like 2 weeks before the end of the year.
2-3 weeks. Yeah, exactly. And then they started, okay, well then we better start doing this. They interviewed some people about it, and guess what?
3 weeks ago, and then didn't put out an episode.
Didn't put out promo, didn't put out anything, just kind of was lazy about it. Your boy puts out the show, and they see all the good responses, and so what they then did was say, oh, crap. The next day, they said, don't miss the world premiere of Wheel Talk.
So what you're telling me is it took them 3 weeks to come up with 6 minutes?
Not only that, they then put together 6 minutes, dude. The whole thing is 6 minutes long, and guess what has nothing to be done? No, it's not in there at all, is the dates for Float Life Fest. So they weren't ready to put this out there. This is not a ready product.
So you can still premiere the dates.
I am going to still premiere the dates.
Oh, good.
But he thought they were going to put it in there because they literally interviewed him about it 3 weeks ago. They didn't even put that in the premiere. I'm telling you what happened is they saw ours. They saw the responses. They said, wow, this was great. Put something out there.
What did they even talk about?
What they talked about was a one wheel that they drove through some paint, and that was pretty neat. And they showed the one wheel that looked like it had been driven through some paint. And then they went out in the forest, and they cut down a tree, and they dragged it back, and they said, Happy Holidays on January 4th. Way to go. Way to go. Can I get the wah, wah, wah?
So
I am so fired up over this. And I'm sorry. Go ahead. What?
I'm just gonna make a prediction. First, they're gonna try to like fight you and bury you. Then they're gonna hire you.
I'm not gonna let them. That's probably what would happen. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to do that because this is the problem. If we're asking them to be more inclusive, they have to be less afraid that people like us are gonna blast them. So I don't want to just have them do this, even though they're ripping me off completely. That's fine. That's fine. My hand is extended, and that's what I'm going to say on the podcast on Tuesday. Let's do this together. But boy, oh boy, like how funny is that?
Man, baby.
It's sad, actually. It's mostly just sad.
I blew it. I blew the
I
first
talked
one.
over- I talked
We
over
blew
it.
it. Should
well,
we tell
not
them?
only that, you raise your hand as you're
Yeah.
pushing the button.
Yeah, you didn't really
And
give me a
then
heads up.
you're like, hey.
We've got a new voice of the show, and we've got
and,
some
then, and you know
things-
what's funny? I have it playing, and you don't have me up.
What? Are you ready? All right, well, let's go. So we wanted to have
Luch,
things like
man.
this,
Awkward transition.
and then and we'll go into break and be ready to
All right,
hit
one more
you
time.
guys.
One more time.
All right, I can do that. So that is what's happening on the One Wheel Podcast. Make sure you tune in on Tuesday at 11 a.m. live right on TTR Studios. I'll post the podcast on litmradio.com.
Awkward transition.
Yeah, it is. Well, now we can get into real sports. Oh, my God.
What was that?
That's my laptop saying, no, this is rough. This is a bad idea.
This is
Awkward
not-
transition was right.
So thank you, Felicity, and all of you for listening to that. I know you don't know what a one wheel is, but how funny is that? And I'm telling you right now, this could get interesting because I'm not going to fight them on it, but I have a feeling they're going to try to fight me. They're just going to listen. Imitation is the biggest form of flattery, and I did not get upset. I just like, what are you kidding? We could have done this so much better. Happy to work with you, not against you. Unbelievable. All right, when we get back, we've got feuds between the Patriots. We've got Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and nobody's happy in the marriage anymore.
Yep.
Plus, Belly's got something about bathrooms. We'll do that all next. It's Luch Talk in the morning.
At litmradio.com.
Marinate Restaurant puts a unique twist on fast casual dining by starting with only the freshest ingredients to slow cook delicious melodies of tastes and colors that are sure to delight your senses. Whether you're craving the Chipotle pulled pork sliders, honey basil chicken tacos, or the infamous kitchen sink wrap, Marinate has something for everybody with tons of vegetarian options too. It's the perfect choice of catering for your offices or events with fast and friendly service from a brand new store on Melrose and Western. Stop by today, or you can order online at marinateyourlife.com. And don't forget $1 tacos for Taco Tuesdays. Tacos, wraps, sliders, and sides. Slow cooked to perfection at Marinate Restaurant. marinateyourlife.com.
Do you want to learn how to defend yourself efficiently with your handgun? Or use pepper spray with the confidence of real-life training? How about develop an actionable home defense plan? Innovative Defensive Solutions offers realistic personal defense training both in Manassas and Doswell. IDS Training also travels nationwide to host range and classroom locations. Since 2003, IDS Training has been teaching people to improve their safety through contextually accurate and realistic personal defense training, including concealed carry permit courses, pepper spray courses, beginner firearm safety, and of course defensive firearm training. So head over to innovativedefensivesolutions.com or call 571-535-4437 with promo code LUCH, that's L-U-C, and get 20% off their coursework. You can also find IDS on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter with the handle @IDS Training. Innovative Defensive Solutions, making you safer through realistic firearm training. Real training for real life. InnovativeDefensiveSolutions.com.
What's up, y'all? It's Maddie Mads here. This show is sponsored by TTR Studios. Whether it's weddings, parties, karaoke, audio, video production, and all your entertainment needs, call TTR Studios, LLC at 703-850-2223 or check them out at ttrevents.com. Start the show, Luch.
Welcome back, folks. It is Luch Dog in the morning on litmradio.com, live on YouTube channel TTR Studios, and I am joined by Belly Matt LaBelle from Soapbox Sports, baby. Soapboxsports.com for all your sports needs. And Matty Potts from the Santa Monica Newsroom, owner, operator of the one, the only Marinate Restaurant. How is life out there, my friend?
It's good. It's been a little nippy, but all good.
Oh, shut your mouth in L.A. Get out of here. It's 4 degrees right now.
I'm so mad that it's been 50 degrees outside.
I bought a space heater just for my feet in here, man.
It's
really cold.
Bitter cold outside.
I do have a quick question,
Yeah.
if you don't mind. Last show we were talking about the Poo-Pourri, which is a spray you put in the toilet before you take your morning number 2.
Sure.
Have you used it yet? How is
Man, I
it?
still
Can we get a
have it.
review?
I gotta use it again. In fact, Belly is gonna
He
bring it
enjoys
with
his own
him.
smell.
Belly's gonna bring it with him. Let's start there. The next time that he goes to Hooters.
Oh yes. Oh.
Is it
Well,
travel
You know what?
size?
It's not.
It is travel size. It's
My
like this
biggest
big,
problem-
and of course the Patriots are feuding. We're gonna do that in about 2.5 minutes.
So I've had some problems with bathrooms lately. And it's not me going to the bathroom. It's the problems with the structure of the bathroom. It's like it's the last thing people think of in a restaurant that they want to put together and say, you know what, let's just throw this together.
Well, ask Matty Potts. Did he think about his bathroom, or did he just throw one together?
So, but they only have a singular bathroom. Okay, so
First
it's-
problem.
yeah.
That's the first
They
problem.
only have one bathroom. My problem with like for example, we were in Hooters the other day, and I walk in, and there's 2 urinals, and then right to the right of one of the urinals is a stall. So imagine someone's inside this stall and has to come out of this stall, and then someone's standing at the urinal.
Yeah, like
Guess
literally,
what they're getting.
you open the stall door from dropping your deuce, and you're facing the first urinal.
Yeah,
And it's like, what is that planning?
like that's.
Well, my question is, the worst urinals are the ones without the dividers in between. Do these have dividers?
And you're a
Yeah.
very confident
Yeah.
dude, which is funny to me. Like, didn't you, like, I don't know if I can even say that on air, but you're a very confident man.
You're right.
However, you hate yourself some urinals without dividers.
Well, you gotta
I
have
get
dividers.
stage fright. I
Yeah.
do. I
Yeah.
get stage fright.
You gotta have dividers. I mean, the only place that I usually don't see dividers are in sports stadiums where they're putting them like
The
2
trough.
inches apart.
Remember in college, the troughs?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
God,
that's
so much
one bathroom.
splashback.
But I mean, you imagine walking out. This placement of this urinal is just the worst placement of a urinal in.
But he's upset
history.
about it. He comes back to the table and he's like visibly upset. He's like, who thought about this? I'm like, nobody. Who
What-
cares? Have a
who-
wing.
Who didn't
Look
think
at the,
that coming
we're
out
Hooters.
of this? Who didn't think of coming out of this stall? You're getting full view of someone else's thing.
Well, tell me what's going on about with the Patriots, because didn't this come out from? Were you kidding when you said this was from Roger Goodell?
I was kidding when I
Okay.
said this to Roger Goodell. So ESPN came out with this huge thing last night at midnight. So they dropped it like last night in the middle of the night. This is how ESPN drops
Like a
this.
tax bill?
Yeah. Like ESPN drops this huge, what if you printed it would have been like a 6-page article. It is long-winded. It's got like 4 or 5 different segments. It is huge.
It's ESPN?
And it is all about the relationship not being well between Robert Kraft, the owner, Bill Belichick, the coach, and Tom Brady, the quarterback. And it's all kind of muddled together right now. And I joked that it was from Roger Goodell because ESPN and Roger Goodell have quite the partnership sometimes. But in reality, it's probably all true because we heard about this a couple months ago. Tom Brady's head trainer, who is a personal trainer.
That was a weird
was
story.
Given all this access to Patriot stuff. Halfway through the season, this report comes out. Tom Brady's trainer is no longer allowed.
They
on
kicked him off the plane.
Patriots, like,
they kicked him off the plane, or they didn't
Patriots
let him
grounds.
ride home on the plane. I mean, something happened.
Well, from what I've been reading here, so Tom Brady's been getting into this whole since 2014, getting into what is called TB12 Fitness.
Right.
It's his own brand of
I've been to the
fitness and
website. Some of
health,
it's like if you want to
nutrition.
eat like Tom Brady, if you want to work out like Tom. Have you seen any of this, Potts?
Oh, I've seen some articles about what his diet. I didn't know he was doing that much, but yeah, I've read.
There's a whole like following that you can eat. You can be like Tom.
Oh.
Basically, he's the new Michael
Yeah.
Jordan. You can eat the avocado ice
Exactly.
cream and all that.
So
And can you just to like jump in, like, have you seen pictures of him in college versus like the last 10 years? He looks so much better now
Oh, yeah.
than
Oh,
he
yeah.
did even in college. It's so funny.
Can
like,
anybody
he's, like,
forget the
getting
pic-
better with age?
Well, can anybody forget the picture of him with his shirt off at the combine when he came in? That was
That's
so
it. That's what
funny.
I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, he was kind of lumpy.
And he's married to Giselle.
Yeah.
That guy.
that guy.
So what
Well,
does
I mean,
that have
now
to
he's
do
a
with
stud, so
well, what does that
whatever,
have to
but-
do with the feud, though? I mean, like,
So what was happening is a lot of the players in the Patriots locker rooms were feeling pressure because of Tom's presence to follow Tom's plan. In
oh, is
health
that what it
and
was? Because
not
I know a lot
seek-
of people were using that doctor also.
and not seek Tom like the team's doctors.
Because they were feeling pressure from Tom Brady?
They just felt pressure that they need to do the Tom's plan if they want Tom, if they want a good relationship with Tom. And this
how much power does he have? That's
offensive
I was going to say, I mean,
Unbelievable.
at this point, he's like Grandpa Tom. I
Right.
mean, he's like an elder statesman, and you've got kids playing with him that have grown up watching. I mean, he's already been in the NFL for
Can you imagine,
how long?
Malcolm Butler just being like, yeah, no, it's cool. I'm going to go get a burger.
Well, that's
Yeah.
But that's the other thing right now is so Tom Brady is obviously 41 years old. That's a pretty high age for a quarterback in the NFL. Even Brett Favre stopped at 40. You got to think about that.
And he wasn't great at 40. It's not like he stopped at 40. He started deteriorating.
But Tom Brady's 41, and he says he wants to play a couple more years. And the Patriots, you got to think about their mindset. They had Jimmy Garoppolo ready to go. The guy is now undefeated as a starter in the NFL.
Yeah, they've got Brian Hoyer. It's cool.
But obviously there was some kind of Tom Brady's saying, go shove. I want to play a couple more years.
Right.
You're either going to have to trade the best player that's ever walked through the freaking doors of any stadium ever.
The Patriots could do that, though.
Or you could trade away what is probably your best option at quarterback in the next few years.
With Garoppolo, and they did that.
Garoppolo,
but they could. Couldn't the Patriots, if anybody, get away with trading Tom Brady?
Yeah, but
I mean, they're the only team that could do that.
Tom Brady won because they traded Garoppolo.
God, that's crazy. They'll draft, Baker Mayfield.
So I bet you, I think it's the relationship Brady. So I think it's actually the relationship between Belichick and the head office, Kraft, and Brady right now. Because Belichick didn't think Kraft did enough to defend them against Roger Goodell and all the stuff with the suspensions. You also know that Tom Brady is probably right in the ear of Robert Kraft because of how many Super Bowls and what he's done for the organization. And Belichick has his way of playing. So this is where this push comes to shove.
This is the beginning.
It's like
the beginning of the end.
Who falls back first? Who's the one that gives? And I think after, if say the Patriots win the Super Bowl or after the season, all of a sudden these reports come out. Bill Belichick just quit. He said, "Forget it.
See ya.
I'll go to Cleveland.
Yeah, I'll go back to Cleveland.
I'll go fix them."
Potts, if the Patriots were to implode right now, I want you to can you put your future cap on? Can you read the future for us? Tell us who the next dynasty is going to be. The next 10 years.
Nothing. There's going to be nothing like this.
Let him. You never know.
Yeah,
he's got the hat, not us. We don't know.
I got to be honest. I was extremely underwhelmed this NFL season. I mean, I just don't see.
Are you saying 10 years without
Eagles,
a dynasty?
I guess the Eagles. I mean, but I don't even know about 10 years. The only reason I say 10 years is because Carson Wentz is, he can play 10 years. But
that's a good answer.
I think that's the Eagles are the only team you could even joke about that right now just because of their record and that's only based on one season. So
and their quarterback.
I don't.
Who's got the strongest front office and coach relationship? I think that's the question you need to ask.
Right.
I mean, I was going to say the Giants with Mora. But the Maras,
coach.
they're great, but they don't even have a coach.
Maybe Denver. I mean, Denver can seem to get players because of John Elway, but I don't.
You could say the Steelers because
the Rooneys and.
But that window seems to be maybe on the back end.
Yeah,
Roethlisberger's he's gone. He's got to be gone after this year.
Le'Veon Bell's a free agent after this season if they don't re-sign him or franchise.
What's Antonio Brown's contract?
I'm sure he's going to be. I think he's the highest paid wide receiver in the
NFL.
No.
But how long do they have him? Do you know?
I think he got an extension last year or year before.
So are we just going to end up 8-8? Is the Redskins going to be the dynasty? 10 years, baby.
Big buzzer on that one.
We're going to be rebuilding yet again.
Who's our quarterback next year?
Huh?
Who's our quarterback next year?
McCoy.
I hope so. I hope so.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, I'll take him for a season. Even on his way out.
Best case scenario.
Best case scenario.
It's Colt McCoy.
No, it's not.
Absolutely, it is. Here's why: because that means we're not spending any extra money on something that's not going to be really great anyway, like Alex Smith for 2 years. Okay, I know that.
Well,
but wouldn't you rather just have Colt hold it down and not spend more money and then go spend that money on other things?
Yeah, I would see if anything can develop from him.
Dude,
build the team for a couple years, and you may get a surprise and develop a great quarterback, or you just do what you thought you were going to have to do anyway, which is get a new quarterback.
Right, and Belly's saying, but you're going to go 3-13. Who cares? We're 8-8. That's almost worse.
So what? Yeah. What's the difference between 8? You don't make the playoffs either way. Who cares?
It sucks.
That's true.
All right, to end the football segment, I know there is some heat in this room when I mentioned 2 words, one name, Marvin Lewis. Potts, do you know what I'm saying?
I don't even really
Marvin
think I know
Lewis,
who you're talking about.
Marvin Lewis has been coaching for 15 years with the Bengals.
At the Bengals, sure.
When he got there, they had 5 playoff wins in their history.
Guess how many they have now?
15 years later, they have 5 playoff wins. They have not
how
won.
has he been there for so long?
Because
he's been there for 15 years, but not only that, he's gone to the playoffs 7 times, and guess how many times he's won? 0.
Goose egg. And that's what people are now starting to say. Well, yeah, what do you expect? They clearly don't care about winning a Super Bowl. All they want to do is inflate the bottom line or increase the bottom line.
If I'm the Bengals fan, I'm going to be, you know what? I'm just going to be a Browns fan. Might as well be the same.
I mean, at least they're could you say they're trying when they hire the coach that just went 1-31? Potts, which situation is worse? Hiring a guy after 15 years who's never won a playoff game, or keeping the guy that just went 1-31 in 2 years?
But his teams have been awful.
I think I would go with 1-31 just to see, because 15 years is obviously like, all right, nothing's happening there. I mean, so maybe 1-31, something can happen.
Here's the kicker, Potts.
Taking you a few seasons.
What happens when you do bad at your job?
Typically
get fired.
Well, so guess what? Guess who just got a contract extension?
Yeah.
Marvin Lewis.
2-year extension for the next 2 years. They just gave it to him. The guy who's 15 years, no playoff wins. And what does that say to your team when they don't perform?
It says,
hey, it's cool. We'll sign you anyway.
Right.
No big deal.
No, it could be one of those scenarios. This was a scenario with Jeff Fisher. He definitely Jeff Fisher definitely had that.
That's right. He
got
extended
the contract extension and then got fired.
Got fired the next day, the next week.
It's more like a severance. This is what they should call it, is severance. That's what they call when they fire people and give them money.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
That's better. That's better. Let's go to break, Belly. Give it to me. I love it. All right, we've got to do some stuff, and then we will get to do some stuff, meaning I got to fill up my coffee. You guys have to hit the bathroom break or just keep on driving. We will be back in like 60 seconds, folks, because we're going to get into it. It's the hot topic right now. How you're going to become a bajillionaire.
Oh, jeez.
You're buying your crypto coins. We're going to do that just for a minute when we get back right here. It's Luch Dog in the morning.
At litmradio.com.
Marinate Restaurant puts a unique twist on fast casual dining by starting with only the freshest ingredients to slow cook delicious melodies of tastes and colors that are sure to delight your senses. Whether you're craving the Chipotle pulled pork sliders, honey basil chicken tacos, or the infamous kitchen sink wrap, Marinate has something for everybody with tons of vegetarian options too. It's the perfect choice of catering for your offices or events with fast and friendly service from a brand new store on Melrose and Wester. Stop by today, or you can order online at marinateyourlife.com. And don't forget dollar tacos for Taco Tuesdays. Tacos, wraps, sliders, and sides. Slow cooked to perfection at Marinate Restaurant. marinateyourlife.com.
Welcome back, folks. It is Luch Dog in the Morning on Sports 106.1 FM in Richmond. Thanks for hanging out there, all you live listeners. I see you guys. It is TTR Studios on channel. Jesus Christ. It's YouTube channel TTR Studios. Okay, so sorry, Potts. I'm sorry.
Train wreck.
Well, we talked about how sometimes you go into autopilot as a host and you have these things that you say, but one little thing can take your mind off of it, and you got to focus, so that's on me. All right, we said we were going to talk cryptocurrencies. I'm going to do that for about 2 seconds. I've also got into the pictures on dating profiles. I'm very excited to hear about that. And if we wanted to, give our predictions on Nick Saban taking over the world. Over under 2 years.
Nick Saban is definitely going to. He got votes in Alabama to be the governor, so.
Potts, what's up with the profile pics? I want to do that, and then we'll just do a quick cryptocurrency update on why Belly has completely flipped. I've literally flipped him in the matter of a week, and I'm very excited for him.
Which I want to hear as well. Yeah, so, I mean, I was just wondering, I just don't understand why.
What is that?
I think we're good now.
Talk to me, big man.
Hello.
Oh, wow.
Hey, so I was just wondering.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to do that?
Hold on, Potts.
We'll get him back in here. We're going to just call him back. Yeah. We'll do that. And look at that. I got a screen set up for it. You can even do that if you wanted to. So I'll go ahead and discuss the cryptocurrencies, and then we'll get into Potts with dating profile pics. I bought a bunch of Ripple in full disclosure, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of exploded over the past couple days, and I've also learned a lot about the other kinds of coins. Do we have Potts back?
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, he's back. So Potts, we flipped. We're going to cryptocurrencies first, and if that works for you guys, if you don't know what's going on in this, half of you right now are just like, all right, I'm out. And I'm saying to you, listen, that's fine. If you're somebody who doesn't understand something, so then you hate on it, like that's fine. That's on you. And that's your choice. I'm not telling you that you're wrong. I'm just saying there's a whole nother group of people out there that will look at any opportunity to improve themselves, even if they don't necessarily understand it at first. Just be open to the idea that there is $750 trillion in this industry right now.
Yeah.
Tangible U.S. dollars. So all of you who are going, yeah, it's all about something that doesn't actually exist, and it's a Ponzi scheme. Who cares? There's $750 billion in it.
Here's how he won me over. He basically was like, if you're willing to lose $300 at the casino.
Exactly. Exactly. We all go to the casino and play blackjack. So if you're willing to lose $200 at the casino, why not take a chance at all these people who have already made millions of dollars?
Throw some bones
and what's funny is, I'm not trying to I don't know.
Hate on it. I'll argue gambling, it. It's fine.
No, I'm not gonna hate on it. I haven't done it yet. I'd be interested, but I'm doing it like how you guys are saying, as almost as if you're gambling and not as if you're investing in a currency.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just think it's interesting. So
what people don't understand is I think they're all thinking about it as a coin. And what I need you guys to understand is that it's digital money is coming. Okay.
I think calling it Bitcoin does make it confusing.
Right. And they're like, but there isn't an actual coin. It's like gold that doesn't exist. And I'm like, no. Listen, it's the same thing as if you and I play a video game, and in that video game, they have these things called tokens, and a token, 50 tokens buys you the next level in the video game or new clothes for your character. A lot of the younger kids, millennials, they're all over that kind of stuff. And if I have a whole bunch of tokens and it matters to you and you really want those tokens because you love that game so much and you're willing to give me $20 for these tokens, now that has value.
Right.
Now that has value.
And the biggest argument is that you said it yourself, well, it's a Ponzi scheme. Guess what? there was a Ponzi scheme with American dollars too, and none of those people got their money back. You want to talk about money being able to disappear? Your money can disappear easily. Just because it's in a bank and it's insured, it doesn't matter. And people have lost their entire Social Security and their pensions from Ponzi schemes and American money that's supposedly backed by gold, even though it's proven it hasn't been in years. But literally all someone would have to do, if someone went on the news and said your money is now worth nothing, it would be anarchy.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's basically all that would need to happen is for someone in the, like, you know, the president to be like, hey, sorry, your dollars aren't worth anything. We've actually been printing and you're screwed. Like,
Trump coins only.
Now all
Trump
you have
coins.
is paper.
But what's interesting is that there's like 50s, 7,500 coins, but they're not all currency to replace the U.S. dollar. They're trying to solve internet digital problems. Belly, why do you like Tron?
Tron I like because it's to kind of pay, and also it's to skip a step, and instead of using personal information to like maybe donate to an organization or donate to a YouTuber. For us, for example, if you wanted to say, oh, I like this a lot, let me throw you some bones, what you're really throwing us is actually Tron currency,
right?
And that would turn into us taking it, selling it.
And the reason they're looking to do that is because basically Tron is trying to bring the data and everything that's being uploaded and all the content on the internet. They want the users to get credit for that and paid for that, not Google and Facebook. They want to decentralize everything.
Yeah.
It's a new innovative idea that they're